I made an impossible Destiny challenge. I've put a bounty on the line for a challenge in Destiny that I believe is the hardest one ever conceived, and I need your help. We're making our own community stories now, ladies and gentlemen. You see, Destiny is, for all intents and purposes, a game that once you understand what you're doing, it's not a technical nightmare to be on a higher end of the player base. Whether it be using the right mods, having the right stats on armor, and having some weapons that are in the meta, Destiny is pretty friendly for a lot of the game. However, that's in the case of beating content with the recommended amount of players. In this case, a raid. Raids are for 6 players, and this challenge is for 1 player out there to complete. Root of Nightmares has been soloed on every single encounter now, and now it's possible to solo the entire raid. But unlike the days of Crota in Destiny 1, soloing the entire Root of Nightmares raid is near impossible. So for the challenge, I wanted to use this video as a proper guide on how runners are currently clearing the solos of each room. The reward here is where I'll also need your help. I posted a short where I originally announced that the bounty would be $1,000 of my own money, but I am encouraging other content creators to get involved. I know that Moist Critical, for example, is a Destiny guy, and seeing that he hosted the Halo 2 Deathless Lasso challenge, it would be cool to get another Destiny guy involved in making this challenge even bigger. Other Destiny content creators in general, I welcome you to join in on throwing down on the prize pool. So this is where I need your help. Getting this video to your favorite creator who's familiar or plays Destiny would be incredible, because I want to blow this one up. To add on to this, the D2 Solo Raids Discord actually contacted me, seeing a way for some of the admins to also put forward some money for whoever pulls off this challenge first. I'll leave a link to their Discord down below if you're interested in learning more about it down there. So just to be clear again, I am offering $1,000 of my own money and encouraging other creators to get involved. Please, let's make this one as big as possible. Thank you again to the D2 Solo Raids Discord. Link in the description. It's probably the best source of information for anybody who wants to do solo raid bosses. So, the challenge of Solo Flawless is not one for the impatient player. Going flawless in a raid means that at any point you are not allowed to die. This means that if you do, you must go to orbit and reset the raid. For the runs to be verifiable, I need you to stream it and or do a recording of your clear with no splices and your raid report linked. Obviously, no cheating or net limiting is allowed. I can't even believe I have to say that, but some people do some dumb stuff. You can just message me on Twitter if you have the run complete. Before I go over the run, I just want to say that depending on how Bungie does their artifact and mods or updates to weapons, broken builds, etc., that this challenge can go from the hardest of all time to a cakewalk. But no matter, it will still count on the first clear of Solo Flawless. I also want to say that if you're looking for an explanation of the mechanics and how to do the encounters normally, you can watch my video on the raid race or watch a separate guide. I picked this raid over others that have been Solo Flawless able because Root of Nightmares is the first one that doesn't utilize major bugs in the encounters for the solo. Before, Taniks could be killed solo on a bug, and Atheon had a glitch that is now patched. So this is the only remaining Solo Flawless raid in Destiny 2, and the methods to achieve it are just being an insane player with a little bit of luck along the way. Oh, and the solos get harder per encounter. The first encounter, the Cataclysm, is the easiest solo of them all, but don't let that fool you. For this solo, I'd recommend an Eager-Edged Sword with Warlock dashing around and hitting the seeds to advance. I would also recommend you get your Arbalest or another crit weapon handy for the Tormentors, as saving one of these during the resting period between the timers and then killing it at the beginning of a timer is incredibly helpful. Other than that, just get your ad clear down while managing the route and you'll clear this one no problem. The second encounter, Scission. This one can be a little bit more tricky, but well skating and knowing the room are about all the pieces of advice I have for you. This one is going to require you to follow the path of light and dark while staying on the same side twice each time after the first set have been hit to get through another set of light and dark. The cannons may work with you, but we know from a lot of players that sometimes they just kind of suck. Now the third encounter, This one is a The Explicator, as of this recording, has only ever been cleared by one player. First of all, ad clear. You're gonna need it. Right now, runners are using sun bracers with the right fragments. Again, guys, links to the solos and how the builds are set up down below. You're gonna need to kill as many enemies around, farming ammo and progressing the encounter. Next, you need to not only keep track of which planet goes where, you also need to well skate or sword skate across the room to beat the timer. Runners have found a somewhat consistent route, but it's so unbelievably hard to get down since there's a lot of enemies blocking your path constantly. Next, once you've made it to damage, you need to swap to a loadout with Rain of Fire boots for the radiant buff from fusion rifle kills, a Wither Horde on the boss, a fusion kill on a Scion per plate, and a Cataclysmic with 4 times the charm and bait and switch while dodging the boss's attacks is necessary in the current day strat. Also, let me add on that having raid armor ready for damage is nice, since the raid mod Focus Light will give you 16% more damage with 4 of them on if you get a light plate instead of dark. Linears aren't necessary, but they are very, very nice for this challenge, and it's been the only way people have been able to do it so far. You're gonna want Ember of Solace Fragment. That one is mandatory. The damage is the real issue here, so you're gonna depend on ammo RNG and plate RNG. But man, oh man, is this one a pain to learn, so have fun. Now, the final challenge, and debatably the hardest, is Nezarec. Nezarec has a full video on the solo on my channel already, but to put it simply, practice this one to a T. This one took weeks of practice to get the strategy down fully, involving multiple swaps to pull off, multiple great damage phases, and a final stand that would have anyone sweating bullets. Yeah, this will be the final check for a reason. So, are you wanting to step up to the challenge? Will this ever get cleared? Part of me wants this to take a long time, while another part of me wants to see who's willing to put their mind to the test of the ultimate challenge in Destiny history sooner rather than later. It could take the right seasonal mods and some goofy broken stuff. But with rumors that Starfire Protocol Warlock is going to get nerfed soon, I'd imagine that this will be later completed than sooner. Good luck, I'll be watching some runners on Twitch, and I'll see you guys next time.